between the Carolina Panthers and the Houston Gunners. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here's Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
I want to highlight Telvin Smith, only the 3rd linebacker in Jacksonville Jaguar history to make a Pro Bowl, but not for that reason. When he came out of Florida State with his build, many were projecting him as a safety in the NFL, around 215 pounds. He's got a little bit bigger, but his ability to run and hit and make plays has made him one of the most valuable linebackers in the NFL. They made the right choice leaving him at that spot.
On the run, it's Ware. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now a play fake here on first down. This one complete to Devin Funchess. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a first down throw for Newton. And Thomas has it. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. They'll
wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And he's got his target. That's Moore. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The 13 yards that time and a first. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Their confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they look at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Spencer Ware's numbers on the ground a week ago. 18 carries, 56 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. In search of 8 yards on third down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Now Newton. And they get to Newton, and taken down for the sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Really talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll look to throw here. And incomplete on the deep ball. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Come on, let's go. White 90.
They're going to look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And his throw is incomplete. A.J. Bouye, the fine quarterback, there to make the play defensively. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Here's Newton. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. Looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
He'll get it up the middle. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Jarius Wright with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. He'll get 4 yards on the carry there, and we will get to the end of the first quarter of play. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the hometown guys with a football here to begin this second quarter of play. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Now back to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Ohio! Ohio!
He'll look to throw. The open man is Westbrook. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Right back to him on first down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
There's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
The good old toss play. And this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
That goes for a gain of 31.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first down carry for Henry. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, Henry. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
They'll go with a keeper, and they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only get a hard-fought yard, but that's all they needed. It pays off the decision to go for it, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out, and his guys are able to make this a close game again. And they wasted no time right down near the goal line, and they just sneak it in.
Just do what you need to do. Big guys going up front. Have the field general, the leader, just fall in behind him.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. They'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
They run it here. Ware. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So on fourth down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So they bring out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. And the Panthers coming out now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On 1st and 10, Newton. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A final shot before the break. Newton looking left side, and he's got a man. That's right. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
They'll set up to throw. And he takes a shot on on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Taken in at the 22. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On the ground, this is Ware. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
Come on, let's go! What? 90! What? 90! Ohio! Ohio!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. It's caught by Moncrief. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. The pitch to Henry. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back to throw. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll run it again with Henry. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Looking to throw. Looking for the end zone. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll run now with Ware. And they'll bring. Him down at the 27-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on 3rd down. Newton, he's going to loft one deep left. And got his man complete. The 20. Touchdown, Carolina. Jarius Wright with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Panthers have broken our tie as they take the lead.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, the spin. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
And now out comes Houston. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. Back now here on EA Sports as we're about ready to rock and roll for the fourth and final quarter. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll toss it to Henry. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run forward with Henry. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Derrick Henry with touchdown number 8 on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Now it's Newton. And that'll be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They fake the give. Newton. And this is going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
A toss left, Henry. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
He'll drop to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Mario Addison in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Let's go! Brand 38!
3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the... And this is going to be intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
Able to make one man miss, but he will be corralled around the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
They run again with Ware. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Newton on 3rd down. Got a man, it's right. Yeah, he will get the 1st down as he's up to the 20-yard line. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Cam's going to run the option right. Brings it just past the 15. Able to avoid the initial contact, but not much more there on the play. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. And this is caught. He hits more. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, 83 yards. And the Panthers have broken our tie as they take the lead. Gano the extra point.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches a football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Back to throw. They'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. A very solid gain of 27.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Mike Daniels in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Now, how about that? Rattled by a big play in the previous snap, they bounced back, and that's exactly what they needed defensively, getting a big play of their own.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
He's back to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Vontae Davis able to get a hand in and knock that away. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Mario Addison in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
And they pick up the 1st down on a 4th down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on 3rd down, or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He got 29 yards that time.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Derrick Henry with time running out. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
They're going to try and run for it. And he's going to get in for the 2 points. It was an incredibly gutsy call, but they've taken the lead by a point late in the game. And, boy, you want to talk about guts. Guts is going for 2 when you're down 1 in that spot right there.
Do they not trust their kicker? Did they not feel that it was time to go ahead and do that? Or did they just say, we've got a play on that we're so confident in, we're going to go ahead and do it? I'm going to say they're going to say that in the press conference.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Carolina getting set to take the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup.
and get set as we resume action. Newton to throw. And the tight end Olsen right side. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Now Newton. And this one complete right side to Funchess. Newton finding Funchess for the Panther first down.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. This from long, very long range. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. So it all comes down to the right foot of Graham Gano. This from long, very long range. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots
Personal
of
foul.
leg behind
Roughing
it.
the kicker. Defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Carolina, it's a fourth win of the campaign as they get to 4-10 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.